Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix playthrough. So, we're back on the command board again, and this is sort of where the command boards do start to get potentially rather lengthy in terms of how long you're going to be spending in them. So, we are going to have, I think it's 3 parts in total dedicated effectively entirely to the command board in the coming parts, because this one and the next 2 after that are actually really long boards and have very high GP totals. And obviously, you know, since I want to do the whole thing of showing off all of the command boards in Terra's story, that just means that I'm just going to have to deal with it. Now, the quirk of the Deep Space board is that if you land on the sparkly space, it'll give you gigavolt jolt, or gigawatt jolt, or whatever the hell it's called. Basically, if any of your opponents get close to you, then they'll get a jolt and they will lose some GP. This can be quite helpful, but it is difficult to pull off effectively. The other thing that can happen after you've beaten Disney Town, and I believe it happens on any board, is that you have a chance of finding Captain Justice or Captain Dark. As you can probably tell by their names, Captain Justice is a good thing for you. Captain Dark is a very bad thing. Very bad thing. I believe you're actually going to see both of them in this particular command board, and if you're not, you're definitely going to see them across the rest of them, because Captain Justice and Captain Dark turn up a lot more regularly than you might think. The other cool thing is that by getting that in the command board, you actually get the Pete D-Link, which you are potentially going to want, because while as a D-Link it's absolutely useless, one, it does obviously count towards the completion of your report, but also it counts towards a trophy. And here's Captain Justice now! Perfect timing!
Wearing the mask of peace and hope comes the fearless defender and hero of this town. It is me, Captain Justice.
So, Captain Justice, definitely something you want, because what Captain Justice will do is that he will give you GP randomly. Well, it'll give you GP every single turn. It's just that sometimes it will be GP and sometimes he will give you a panel, which is obviously very helpful because you generally want as many panels as possible, because then that means more commands are getting leveled up and more chances for your opponents to land on them and give you GP, and therefore you're more likely to win. So, really, Captain Justice is amazing, and you really do want him. The only issue that you can come across is that if you happen to run past, or one of your opponents run past you, then runs past you, not run past you. Oh, bloody hell. I've only just started this board, and I'm pretty sure I've got another one. No, thankfully, I don't think I do have another one this recording session, because otherwise I think I might get slightly stir crazy. But yes, if an opponent walks past you or you walk past an opponent, then Captain Justice will hook on to the person who you've moved past. So if, for example, I do what I'm doing here, then as you can see, Captain Justice is now hooked on to Captain Gamtu. Thankfully, because I know what he's doing, because he's going on that loop, I can actually make it so that he's effectively going to give me Captain Justice back as soon as his turn is complete, because he's going to walk into me no matter which way, because he can only go up. Annoyingly, this does mean that then I'm going to potentially end up giving Captain Justice back to Gantu, because I want that red level up space. But we should be okay. because my guess is that Gantu's going for that one as well.
There we go.
So, fingers crossed it goes okay, but also, if not, then I believe I have the hand to be able to lap him and be able to keep Captain Justice. Particularly because he's doing that. So, as long as I jump in and leap it around the board, which I don't seem to be doing, but oh well. I've at least got Captain Justice now, so we just need to see how long I can keep him for. And I don't know why I'm not using my Joker's Fortune at the minute, because it's... You pretty much always want to use them as soon as you've got them, because they could provide you with something very helpful. I mean, the ones that I always want from the Joker's Fortune are either the multi-dice or panel capture. That's generally what I want. And god damn it, Gantu.
This game's over.
Stealing my bloody Captain Justice. But thankfully I have claimed him back, although obviously he will be claimed back again as soon as blooming Gantu moves. And as you can see, I'm also going quite hard in terms of levelling up my areas. I don't know why, I think it's just because I had the cash. Had the money to burn, just thought, you know what, let's just ram it in there and see what happens, because I mean, it's a tactic that does work out. Maybe not as often as it probably could do. But it helps, because obviously then if one of your opponents lands on that space and it costs a bomb, then you can do really incredibly well out of it. Now, let's use that 2 dice, be very smart, and just leg it past Gantu and keep Captain Justice for as long as possible.
There we go.
Now, one of the things that I feel I should point out is we have not seen him yet, but Captain Dark will show up eventually. Captain Dark is effectively the opposite to Captain Justice, in that Captain Justice gives you GP, Captain Dark takes GP away, which is obviously quite mean. Both of them panel capture, like that, but whenever Captain Justice buys one, you don't actually get charged. At least I don't think you get charged for the panel. If Captain Dark does it, it does charge you for the panel. I mean, I think it might also potentially be that Captain Justice captures panels for you at a discounted rate. So that one was a 160 GP panel for 91 GP. I'm assuming that Captain Dark doubled the price or something like that as well. So it all ends up being a little bit strange, but thank you very much for that. I do love a good panel capture, especially when it's nicking somebody else's and completely wrecking them. And yeah, it's this moment where I just go, do I want to keep hold of Captain Justice or not? And the answer is yeah, I do. Because keeping hold of Captain Justice just means that I'm much more likely to win. He will disappear after a certain period of time, but you do tend to want to keep hold of him as much as possible. And I still can't get over Stitch being in a Kingdom Hearts game. I know he was in Kingdom Hearts 2 and he was adorable there as well, but still, it just makes me really happy that there was a Lilo and Stitch world in Kingdom Hearts properly. I just, once again, say I do wish it had been Hawaii. I think it would have been more effective, but there we go.
There we go.
Now, one of the things that I well, I did a terrible job of it in most of Terra's runs, but the yellow square, so the you can see them on the little mini map in the top right. There's certain spaces, certain panels that are marked with like a yellow square in the middle. Those ones are the ones that got a star on the actual board, and those ones are new commands. They're not necessarily always brand new to you, but they are commands that if you land on that space and capture that panel, then you will pick them up as a command. I can't believe I haven't said about that before. I don't think I have. I might have done. But you see, I'm just trying to come up with something to discuss. Otherwise, I will drive myself nuts trying to do these sorts of things. I mean, I was driving myself slightly nuts trying to record all the extras because I was doing that yesterday, as of when I'm recording this commentary, and there are certain challenges in Birth by Sleep that I was just like, come on, I want to try it, and then I tried it, and I tried it for a while, and then it was just like, you know what, it's not actually worth it. So effectively, I can confirm that you're going to see the majority of the post-game of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, but you're not going to see all of it, because I am not skilled enough at Birth by Sleep to be able to pull it off. Basically think of it like a Kingdom Hearts 2 situation where also I'm probably a little bit under-leveled for where I'd probably need to be in order to get the victories that I would like. Also, the optional bosses in Birth by Sleep are balls to the wall hard, so it's not happening. But yeah, that was driving me ever so slightly potty last night, and it just reached the point of just going, you know what, I think I've covered enough of the game now. There are obviously people who will have covered more, and props to them, because they're doing stuff that I cannot. But hey, at least I'm aware of where my skill barrier is, and I'm not going to force myself to do things that I'm just not capable of. Did at least give it a college try though, so that's something. And you will obviously see all of that stuff right at the end of the playthrough, which is quite a way away. Because like, while Birth by Sleep isn't an incredibly long game, it adds up. It's like, if you wanted to, then you could easily get through this game in probably about 15 hours, I would say. Because I'm obviously padding it out by making sure I get all the chests, level up sufficiently, do all the command boards. The second you start stripping that stuff out, it goes a lot quicker, so you could probably get it done in about 15 hours. But I ended up spending, I think it was about 36 hours by the end of it, is how much I'd spent. So, yeah,
How you like this?
it's going to take a while for us to get towards the end of the playthrough, because you are actually going to see most of that footage. Obviously there are moments which you're not going to see, because
There we go.
I'm not going to show you things that you don't need to see, i.e. all of the command boards following Terra's story, because they're no different. I'm not going to show you the command boards in the Mirage Arena either. I'm also not going to show you the... So, Rubble Racing also turns up in the Mirage Arena. And I did all of those, but I'm not showing that off because I'm showing off all of the Rumble Racing in Disney Town right at the end as a sort of mini-game collection which will be quite fun actually. And oh god, there's Captain Dark.
Disguised in shadows, the rogue racer reigns. I am Captain Dark. Captain Dark's ready for action. Did you see?
So, yes. He's gonna start being a nightmare. Thankfully, I'm pretty close to victory, so there's very little that he can do to completely screw me over. I mean, I will definitely try and get rid of him as soon as possible, but that does just mean that we've got to hurry upwards and pass around before he completely screws us over.
Okay.
And I like how I said that pretty much the same thing multiple times in a row, because you see, it's just what I do.
All right.
Especially when I'm in this weird state of starting a recording session and just going, what the hell am I even talking about anymore? But yes, there we go. We are over the threshold. We just need to get to the bloomin' start again. And thankfully there is that nice loop on the right hand side, which is going to make things easier. And also, so one of the things that I feel I should point out, it's kind of pretty obvious for the most part on some of the boards, but all of them are shaped like something to do with the board. So, for Deep Space Board, as you can see, the board actually ends up looking like the spaceship that Stitch runs away in. You're going to see another good instance of that in the next board. And I mean, it's one of those, it's pretty obvious, but I don't think I'd ever paid much attention to the shapes of the boards, so it didn't happen. But there we go, victory is mine! And Captain Dark really couldn't do much to stop me, thank God for that, because he can absolutely ruin a run if you are further away from victory. But yeah, I have to say, I will definitely chalk that up to a success. We've got some more things leveled up, which means we can meld some more commands. Or not. Well, I mean I can, because I'm going to do Cura and Cura, which is going to get me Curaga, which is... oh, I love a good Curaga. And yeah, that's basically all I can do for now, but I've got a Curaga, and obviously that's the most powerful healing spell in the game, so thank God for that. And then it's time to, you know, just mess around with all of our stuff, get some other commands in there to level up, just to try and help us out a bit. But with that all sorted, I think that it is time to head on to a brand new world. Let's go.